Hello everyone, I'm past District Governor Jonathan Lucas and current membership chair. And I'm here today to talk to you about our membership plan for the year 2021. It starts with the 4 pillars: club expansion, a focus on diversity and inclusion, increased retention, and increased visibility. And in the center of that is data. And we'll show you how this data can help your club not only thrive, but grow. We're going to focus on several models in the new year to grow clubs. One is we're going to make things variable. Things such as RAGs, which are Rotary action groups centered on the themes of who we serve and how we serve, can be modeled down to the club level as well. So we can have clubs based on those themes: fresh water, child and maternal health, you name it, we can do it. Special interest. Some people like gardening, some people like sports, hobbies, education. Nothing wrong with having clubs that represent those hobbies and come together to do community service and everything else. And we have cause-based. So if you know people who are passionate about something in their communities, start a club. We're welcome to join Rotary and take your passion to the next level. Diversify meeting formats. We've already talked about satellite clubs, and we'll talk about that a bit further in a little bit. But we can diversify our own meetings. So for instance, if you're at a lunch club meeting at noon and you know members in your community can't be there, have a meeting once a month in the evening on a different day so people who can't make that first meeting can join you. And mix up how you meet. Have club speakers. Have some of your meetings be service projects. Have others be socials. Keep it diverse, keep it lively, and keep things interesting for your club members. Specialized membership models, such as Rule of 35, and that's attracting younger people, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But also language-specific clubs. Just here in Northern Virginia, we have a huge Korean community as well as Hispanic. Why not bring those people together and have clubs that speak in their languages so they can be a part of the Rotary experience? And then corporate membership. We've already instituted last year under my governorship a corporate membership strategy where corporations can have representatives come to our clubs, 2 or 3 people, and it's worked out really well for a lot of clubs around our district. But even better yet, why not have meetings at the corporations themselves and bring in people who have not experienced Rotary, have a chance to experience now. And then of course, variable club types, satellite clubs. We'll talk more about that in a minute as well. But satellite clubs are bringing in other groups at different times, different locations. The main hub is the centralized club. And then also Rotaract clubs. As we know, Rotaractors can now be Rotarians, so why not have clubs that integrate them into our experience? So let me talk a bit more about Rule of 35. This is not an official Rotary rule, but a lot of clubs have adopted this in order to focus on bringing younger members into their clubs. And the rule basically states, look, reduce or move away the fees for joining a club for these younger folks who are young professionals, and also reduce their quarterly dues. Make it financially possible for them to be a part of the Rotary experience. Secondly, diversity and inclusion. This is something that, again, we started in my year as governor, and I am very passionate about. And District Governor Harry Henderson has kept that as part of his strategy to not only increase club membership, but also really be very ethical about our work. So our goal this year is to outreach to organizations supporting diverse groups of all kinds. Reach out to college, universities, places of worship, reach out to young professionals, and most importantly, reach out to community groups like LGBTQ, ethnic, and disability groups that are underrepresented in Rotary, and bring them into the fold and have our shared Rotary experience. Now, all this is going to happen working very closely with 7610's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. Again, we're working with each other to expand and grow Rotary. Next is increased retention. We have to focus on member engagement. When somebody new comes into our clubs, we have to give them a role, give them leadership opportunities, and understand what their personal growth plans are, especially younger people. If they have a chance to lead a project to grow professionally and on a personal level, they're going to stick with Rotary. So it's very important that our clubs engage in plans in order to create retention strategies around those 3 things. Increased visibility. Outcomes, outcomes, outcomes. We must focus on how do we communicate the good we're doing both here in the local community in 7610 and around the world. We also have to utilize social media. So this is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and also traditional media outlets like newspapers, radio shows, TV. If we're not explaining to those who are not in Rotary what good we are doing in our communities, the likelihood that they'll join won't be very great. Usage of RI materials. RI has spent a lot of money, time, and effort in the last 2 years of creating these great materials that you can find on My Rotary and the RI website. These are good tools for clubs to pick up and use in order to create media strategies, communication strategies, and outreach strategies for your club in particular. And then lastly, the power of branding. I can't speak to you enough on how important this is. So important that we talked about this last week at the Zone Innovation Strategy meeting about the importance of branding at the club level. So I encourage you to understand what your brand is. There's simple exercises you can do. You can contact me for those exercises to figure out what your club brings to the table for the community and for potential members, and brand yourself that way. Also use some of the branding that we have as People of Action. This is a great brand from Rotary International for us to use to really communicate the work that we do. Now, of course, all of this can't be possible without data. We can't tell our story, we can't grow Rotary if we don't know what we're doing. 3 pieces of data that we're going to spend particularly close attention to this year is one, RI leads. Every year, 7610 gets roughly 80 or so leads from RI, people who are interested in learning more about Rotary here in our district. But we don't do a great job of following up on those leads. So this year, with the help of our area governors, we are reaching out to all those folks and connecting those folks with the best club that meets their passions, their purposes, and when they're available to meet. Our goal is to understand, are we actually, after we contact these people, are they actually coming into the clubs, joining, and staying? This is very important. We also have membership trend reports. Earl Baldwin, who was last year's membership chair, has spent a lot of time and effort to understand the membership trends for each of our clubs in District 7610. In the coming days, we're going to be sending out these reports to each club president and each club membership chair. These reports not only show you your long-term membership trend, how you're gaining and losing, but how you're retaining members, especially over the last 3 years. And we're going to here to help you if you're having trouble in one of those areas. We're going to help you develop strategies and ways to strengthen your club retention through these great metrics that we've created. And then lastly is case studies. Rotary is over 2.1 million Rotarians and 35,000 clubs throughout the world. There are many clubs that have great strategies and have found ways to bring members in, and it's for us to understand those case studies and apply them to our district and to our clubs here. And lastly, we need to talk about a web of support. You're not doing this alone at the club level at all. We have the district membership committee, which I run, and we have folks that are comprised of past presidents, past area governors, and some of the AG strings, such as Pat Borowski, who are helping devise a strategy and lay out this plan of action for our clubs throughout the district. We have regional membership leaders who are supporting folks in different areas of the district. And of course, we have our area governors who play a strategic role in making this all come to fruition. But don't forget about District Governor Harry Henderson and the DG string, Pat Borowski and Sheila Brennan. They're also a part of this strategy and will be helping clubs throughout the year as well. Also, reach out to other clubs that are successful, such as Fairfax Rotary Club or Fredericksburg Rappahannock. They've all seen membership growth, and they're more than welcome to help your club find great strategies to implement throughout the year. And then we also have people like Chris Jones, who are at the zone level, and Patrick Eakes. These are 2 people who are mentors of mine, who I'm learning from, and they're providing us a lot of great information around the zone that can help us as a district grow. With all that being said, I want to get down to the brass tacks, and that is our goals for the 2021 year. We have goals both for the Rotary and for Rotaract. So let's start with Rotaract. We're going to work really hard this year to start a new club at George Mason University that incorporates those students in our community. And we're also going to work with the Northern Virginia Community College, both here in Alexandria and maybe even in Annandale, to grow Rotaract in those areas of the district. I personally am going to work this year in the northern part of Alexandria to have a satellite club at my office to bring in people who have not experienced Rotary yet but want to. And we hope the other clubs and other folks around the district do the same. We're also looking at satellite clubs in specific strategic locations like Lorton and Caroline County. Now lastly, I'll leave you with one main goal, and this is ambitious. Our goal is to grow membership by 10% this year. Well, that's pretty huge. I think we can do it. I think if we embrace people's passions, we tell our story, we create flexibility within our clubs and how we meet, there's nothing that we can't do. So thank you all for embracing these ideas and putting this to action. Let's all get together, embrace people's passions, and grow Rotary.